the concept of the Undertaker, did it click for you immediately when you went, this is it, and I'm gonna do this for the rest of my life?
Initially I was just excited that I wasn't going to be the Eggman. That was a legitimate source of anxiety for me for a while, that I was gonna, because I'd been at WCW and I was trying to grow my hair out, and I'm like, he's going to shave my head, I'm going to be I got a big ass head anyway. I look like an egg. So I'm going to be this, I was just like, I was losing sleep about it, because that's just the way it was. And there were so many over the top outlandish characters. And, the old man called me one day, and he didn't call me Mark. He just said, is this the Undertaker? And I'm having this moment, like I'm covering the phone up, right? And I'm like, Undertaker.
Yeah.
Undertaker's not Eggman. Yeah. This is the Undertaker. Great, man, great. Can you be up here tomorrow? I want to show you some stuff. I'm like, yeah. Like I got no money. I have no clue that they're going to send me a ticket. Right? I'm greener, and I'm greener can be. So they flew me up there, and so Vince had the concept of the Undertaker, the look and everything, and kind of explained to me what it was. And, I was like, oh, this could be really cool. And then, then they started making the original costume and everything. I was like, yeah, this is like, cause I loved like the old Clint Eastwood Westerns. Right. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, all right. And then, is he dead or is he alive kind of thing. So then it's like, okay, so now there's some horror in this thing too. Right. So there's all these different elements that I did have a lot of interest in. So, could I have told you then in 1990 that 30 plus years later that I'd be sitting here talking to you about it? No, absolutely not.
But it had to have hit at some point where you're like, this is working.
Yeah, no. It was like by 90. So I started in November of 90. By the end of 91, like, there's Jake, Flair, and myself. We're all the top heels already, and I'm like, okay. And then the switch to me, this character, the darkest character that anyone's ever seen, is now becoming a babyface. It's just like, yeah, okay, this thing's got legs. And this whole time, I'm developing and figuring out what works, and sound like my coffin door right there. Right? Somebody let somebody out of the coffin.
It's Jeff too.
Yeah, that's my manager. He's a scumbag who always gives me the brass knuckles.
That's the one right there.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask about the finisher and how quickly did the move set? How quickly did the tombstone join you in the process?
Well, funny enough, like with the move set is like I had a move. I was pretty athletic.
Yeah. For your size, especially, dude.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So I had to pull in the reins, because I was still like the first couple of matches that I did, I'm still doing leapfrogs and drop downs and drop kicks. And then, as I'm watching it back and I go, it doesn't work. So I had to kind of put my ego aside, because like nobody my size was doing shit like that, right? And then I had to go, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. So, then I had to, then I come up with this really, really slow pace where it was methodical. And I was always like that shark that had an injured seal in the water, right? And I'm just circling around. And then I was like, but then there would be that instant somewhere in there where I'd hit something fast, like, everybody would kind of get lulled into my pace, and then bam, I'd do something fast, like the big flying clothesline or whatever it was, and then roll, boom, and right back into the slow pace. Or like people are like, what the hell?
Yeah.
What was that? What he can move, but what, So it was those first few years. That's what I was doing, is I was throwing stuff up against the wall to see what stuck, and it just resonated. I think everybody kind of has this little darker side anyway that kind of. Either they embrace it or they suppress it, but it's in there in everybody. And I think it really resonated with people, like, it's all right to be, He's a little different, but he's got some issues. But
He's got some issues.
he's got some issues, but he's
Don't know
kind
if
of
he's
cool.
alive.
Yeah, and funny enough, like, so back in the day, like coming out of Mad, you've worked in the garden now,
Yeah,
right?
yep.
Well, back in the day, they didn't let us drive up and get out of your cars and everything. We used to have to park across the street in the parking lot and then walk across all those people.
See, these are the moments that you're talking about,
yeah.
that he goes under the stadium in a sprinter and people carry him in.
Exactly,
like
right?
this, dude.
With the big fans and as
Yeah,
you walk and
exactly.
throwing rose petals out.
Exactly,
Hey,
grapes.
brother, hey, if you can get it done, go for it. But yeah, so we used to have to walk across the street, right? And New Yorkers too, right? They're just like,
Get the fuck out of
yeah,
there.
you fucking suck, you
Yeah.
asshole. But it's the strangest thing, man. I would get out of the car, and even my street clothes, although they weren't the same as what I wore in the ring, they were dark. Like if it was wintertime, I had a long black coat. I mean, I lived this shit, and it would be like the Red Sea parting with these people. Like they didn't want to mess with me.
Hey man, you can say it for me. You're 6'8", dude.
And we don't know if you were alive at the time.
And that's where I was going with it. People would ask, "Is he alive or is he dead?" I'm like, "Are you fucking kidding me,
Dude, when I was a kid watching you, straight up, I thought
he's dead."
Oh, 100%.
I don't know what I thought you were
Zombie.
like a corpse or a zombie or
Yeah.
something. It was so good. And again, the eye roll, the infamous Undertaker eye roll. How is that something? Because like I tried it, I can't do it. Have you always been able to roll your eyes like that?
I just did it. I did it in a match. It was totally by chance. I think I was working with Greg the Hammer Valentine. And I had him down in the corner, and I think my hair and everything was kind of getting my ass. I kind of slung my head back, and when I slung my head back, my eyes kind of rolled too, and I was like, and I held them. So I come back to the gorilla position, and everybody's just flipping out, like, "What the hell was that with the eyes?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "I don't know, man. I just tried it. What did it look like?" And they're like, they're trying to play it back for me. Look at this shit. And I was like,
That's it.
"Oh, that's creepy, dude. That's yeah." So the eye roll, and then the tongue deal. It was just all. Yeah, I mean.
And then another thing that was just perfect. One of the most iconic pieces of The Undertaker. Your music.
Oh, the funeral dirge. Yeah, it was.
How?
Jim Johnston, man, he was amazing. He sat down and he would start composing and then he'd bring me in, and I was like, oh, that's perfect.
Hey guys, if you like that clip, hit the subscribe button, and if you want to see more zany clips, click the video right here.